Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of According to Sacha podcast, the Young CEO Hour. So we do come to you once a month on a Saturday with an extraordinary young entrepreneur who is just beating the odds and just doing everything they are doing out here in this entrepreneurial world. And we just want to highlight them. So thank you for tuning in for this episode. But you know what we have to do, you guys? We got to do first. We have to like, follow, and share. Like, follow, and share all of our platforms. You know where we're at. We come to you live via StreamYard, and we're here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And then we're also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. You see the list at the bottom, and the list goes on. And the one special thing about Spotify is the fact that we're up there on the video side of Spotify. So we do submit our podcast to be up there on the platform. So we're there for video and audio. So today I have a special guest. Her name is Devyne Bean. She is a serial entrepreneur. She is 17 years old and she's doing her thing with music, fashion, business, everything, you name it. She got it going on. So I am not going to delay it too much. I want her to come up and tell you everything that she has going on, but definitely stay tuned for couple of commercials we have, and then I'll have Devyne right on after this. All right, check you back. The According to Sacha podcast show is brought to you today by Platinum Magazine, where you can find articles on love, relationship, and business. The editor-in-chief and founder is Tamika Johnson, aka the Matchmaking Attorney. To get your copy of the summer issue, visit www.platinummagazine.online. Hey, contact us to see how you can promote your products on According to Sacha podcast. Love to do, making their own money. And this is what we will be talking about on According to Sacha. Hey, good morning, Devyne. How are you? I'm sorry, Devyne. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so great. I'm doing great. I have to admit, the whole time I kept seeing your name, I'm thinking, oh, it's Devyne. And then when we talked about it, he was like, oh, no, it's Devyne. And I still did it, so I do apologize for getting your name messed up. But I do appreciate you being here this morning and just gracing our stage and just being in front of the people. Thank you. So I'm going to ask the question that I ask everybody on this show. Who is Devyne Bean?
Oh, wow. That's a very interesting question. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. But on a serious note, I am a recording artist and a serial entrepreneur. I've been a recording artist since I was 13. I have 3 businesses. I have a music production company, MooShooBeatz Productions. I am vice president and co-owner of a media consulting company, Devyne Business Consulting, and co-founder of luxury clothing brand Lusso Grandeur. So I got a million things going on, but
wow,
we here.
We are here. So let me ask you, I know you're 17 and you have all these businesses going on. Like, how do you keep it all together?
I get that question so much, and it's like, okay, time management skills are like my most important thing to like keep up on. It's just making sure that I have everything scheduled. And then also considering that I deal with other things that kind of just gets in my way, but I don't let anything throw me off my game. I do have to schedule days where I work on certain businesses, so I'm not overindulging in one and not paying attention to the other one. Recording, I got a recording studio in my house, so that prevents me from having to go anywhere, spend any money. I can kind of manage everything all in one space, which is very, very helpful. But other than that, I just got a million ideas, a million plans, a million just thoughts running through my brain a minute. And I got to put everything down on paper. I used to try to say, I don't want to do that, but I have to. Either that or I'm going to like lose my mind. So I got to write everything down. I got to reflect my days. I got to just stay up. and I have my days where it's difficult, but it's possible. So I've been doing it.
Yeah, I love that part you said. It's difficult, but it's possible. And that's one thing with entrepreneurship, regardless of the age. And you raised some good points, that time management and writing things down, because even some adults don't even want to write things down.
Yeah.
But when you're multi-passionate and you are, multifaceted and everything, it's like, in order, like you said, to keep it together, to keep your mind right, because it can make you go lulu, you know what I'm saying? You could go a little stir crazy a little bit, because it's like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, or you're missing the boat on this, you're missing something on that part. And when you feel flustered, that really does something to you, with your well-being and mentally. It might be like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to just not do anything today, because you got to get it together again. So those are really good points that you pulled everything together. And I like the fact that you say you have to write it all down to keep up with everything. So that's really good. So let's go ahead and get into, since you have 3 businesses, I want to kind of touch on all of them. So you've been a recording artist since age of 13. So what do you do? Do you sing, you rap, you do both?
Produce? I can do a little harmony or two, but I rap for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. I write everything. A lot of my inspirations are like Kanye. I grew up off of Kanye, heavy duty. Him and Jay-Z, like, come in here. You got like new people like Black. Love that. I love that man so much. Brent Faiyaz, love him. Love me some Beyonce. I know that's so cliche to say, but something about Beyonce is she's just so freeing, and I admire her bravery when it comes down to this music stuff. It's not easy.
Yeah,
especially being a CEO in the process. It's like I admire her and Jay-Z when it comes down to that, because that's not easy. So, but yeah, 13 years old, recording artist. I was booking my own shows. I was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I don't know what I'm about. Like, y'all can't tell me I'm not gonna do this. And I gratefully have a mom who has invested in me so much, and I've grown so much in my musical journey. So now I'm at a place where I got a lot of stuff going on in music. Shout out Bentley Records, by the way. We just went ahead and upgraded on my membership with them. So I now have a lot of things going on with them, new interviews coming up, new music coming out.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I love the fact that you are, because one of the things, I have a history in music as well. And I've worked with music artists off and on for almost 20 years. I even wrote a book recently about entrepreneurship and music. Music artists are entrepreneurs first. So what I love about you is the fact that you do have that mindset, with your business consulting and everything, and how that can really help you even on your music journey. Because when you look at your music journey from an entrepreneurship standpoint or viewpoint, then it makes it easier to kind of function, or you understand the why behind all the steps you have to do in the music industry. So kudos to you, that you have all of these things going on, and it can benefit each other. And so, so let's go ahead and talk about business. So the business consulting part. So what is it that you do when it comes to that? And like, how deep do you go into consulting others in the business realm that you're in?
As far as Devyne Business Consulting, that is me and my mother's business. That's why it's named after me. My mom made it clear that she wanted to name all businesses after me. So shout out my Dukes. As far as how deep I go into the business, vice president and business developer, I am the head of the social media marketing sector. She is the head over like the actual consulting, like as far as like building businesses from the ground up. So I do help people with social media management, also web design, SEO, all the things that make business. And I'm self-taught in everything that I know. Of course, I may have taken courses and things like that, but as far as my knowledge and my wisdom, I made sure I learned all of that, and I've applied that to the type of businesses that I have, because they're in like a million different fields. You see what I'm saying? So I go really deep into that business. I learn a lot from my mom. My entrepreneurial nature comes from my mother, like hands down. Just like my music comes from my dad. So, you know, I got a good balance there, and I appreciate it. I'm forever grateful for everything that I know, everything that I've learned within that company, within that agency, and we've been able to work. Well, we've been able to work with over 50 plus clients over the last 2+ years. So me being a part of that and seeing that is grown me, and not just from an entrepreneur standpoint, just as a person. So yeah.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. And it's good when you have, like you said, you have that balance. You have the best of both worlds on both sides, for you, your musical side, your business side, and everything. But being able to say that you have parents that have invested in you and they understand what you're doing. You know, you have so many teenpreneurs or young CEOs, I like to say, that are out here doing their thing, but then their parents is like, oh, my child is really, you know, good at what they're doing and making money, but they're there to support, but they don't totally understand business like that. And then you have some that do. So for you to have that support system or even that foundation is phenomenal. So thank you, mom and dad out there, for getting your girl on the right track.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
Shout out my mom, most definitely my mom, for investing in me, because she didn't have to. And she's like, well, I have to because you're my kid. And I love what you're doing and I support you. But I'm like, it's a lot of parents out here that don't.
Yeah.
So I gotta forever give thanks to her. I'm forever in debt to her. Like, she gonna see this, she's like, oh my God, thank you for shouting me out.
That's right. You got to. You have to definitely, you know, give her roses now is the best thing to do. So let's get into the whole fashion realm. I mean, like the build up alone is dope. You know, you got the music, you have the business, you have the fashion, and really all of it support each other. Like I mentioned before, you know, you can, have your designs and your luxury clothing brand. I think that's what it is. In your music videos and all this other stuff. And then you can, so many different ways to connect the dots when it comes to it. So let's talk about, is it Lusso Grandeur?
Lusso Grandeur, yes.
Lusso Grandeur. Okay.
And Lusso is Italian for luxury. So that's why a lot of people like, what's Lusso? Yeah. It's supposed to be something fancy. So y'all, you get it off rip. Yeah. That business I started with my boyfriend. Me and him been together for almost like 4 years. So we grew up trying to make it together. And shout out him. He's just so great. He's learning the entrepreneurial side from me. And when we started this business, we both dealt with kind of like body dysmorphia issues, like being insecure growing up. So we wanted to start that business to just encourage that you can look good in any type of clothing, specifically luxury clothing, and you can rock it, and you can walk around with confidence and not feel bad about how you look, not feel bad about how, like, not your body, your face, whatever it is, like, you can do what you want to do and you're good, So we started that literally just a couple months ago and just launched. And have been able to see great results already. So I'm forever grateful for that business. And that it's just, I don't know. I love fashion too. Fashion has always piqued my interest. I've never made that clear to like anybody in my world. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I like clothes. Like, I like stuff that look different. Even people feel like, oh, that's weird. I don't care. It can be weird.
Right.
So, I'm slowly going into that. Considering also I'll be moving to New York literally in like 2 months from today. I'll be deep in the fashion world once I get out there. So I'm excited about that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So with the brand, I know you said it's luxury clothing. Is it like jeans and shirts? Are you actually like designing your clothes, or how are you doing that?
So what's happening right now is we're drop shipping from we got an approval from some really nice brands like Dolce and Gabbana, and just a million other brands. It's so many brands I can't even remember them. But we got an approval to drop ship their clothes. And we have a third party, Brands Gateway. Shout out to them. They have been an amazing team to work with. And so far we are just doing drop shipping, but
yeah,
we've been talking about me and my boyfriend, we've been talking about designing our own clothes and making our own collection. So we've kind of been sketching some stuff.
Yeah,
so it's in the works. I want to
right.
do something of my own. I want to have something that I can say like, yeah, I did that, and he does too. So we're working.
Perfect. You're actually going to be a mogul. So I'm just like, what's next? Like, you have the music, you have the business, you have the fashion. Like, what's next for you? I mean, you're 17 and you got so much more to grow and go forward. So what's next?
It's a million things. Again, it's a million things I want to do. Like, I want to get into film. Like, I have a whole concept about a film, and sometimes I have to remind myself, like, Devyne, don't do too much at one time. You're gonna overwhelm yourself. You're gonna like stretch yourself out. So just put them in the back pocket and wait until you get to a certain point, then push, because you don't want to stress out about trying to invest in it, because you know that's something that a lot of business owners stress on is, how am I gonna fund this? You know, and I want to slowly build my empire so I can throw out the next one. I want to, and this goes back to my point with like Jay-Z. Like, if y'all know Jay-Z heavy, y'all know he has investments in so many different places, like sports and he has his own alcohol brand. He got it's just a bunch of different stuff. He got the school. Actually, the school that I'm going to is Rock Nation School of Music. So this man got a million things, and I want to be a part of all of it.
All right.
You know, so I want to have that. Just like you said, being a mogul, it's beyond just being in one field. I want to touch on different things, and not only that, I want to be an inspiration and just some help to people, because you just never know how your spirit, because I know I have a healing spirit. I've put myself in a position to have that. So I want to touch people, whether it's through music, whether it's through business, whether it's through education, whether it's through clothes, whatever it is. I want to be able to touch as many people as possible before I leave this earth. I take that very seriously. So that's my goal, is just to, I feel like that's why I was put on this earth. That's why I was given the talents I was given, because music that's God given. Period. That's not arguable. And I was given that to heal and to inspire and to give out ideas to other people, to make people think, to make people question everything around them and push their own beliefs, figure out what they want for themselves, because the world has been groomed. I want people to come out, even if it looks scary, come out the box and come out with your own belief system, because you gotta like, it's really just you. At the end of the day, you have to deal with yourself outside of anybody else. So if you are true to yourself, if you know who you are, you can be at war with everything else. But if you at peace with yourself, what can really mess with you? Nothing.
Exactly. So, I love that. Look, y'all heard it here. You know, she is dropping gems and knowledge out here, you guys. And, you know, and I love the way you think, because it does make the difference. The one thing that I really like the most is you just said, it's like, you've been put on the earth to do something, and your talents is there to support that. You know, it's like when you have that purpose and you start to understand, knowing who you are, like you said, and you become peace with yourself, you start to see those gifts and those talents that really are attached to your purpose and the things that you do. And I think sometimes some people can, you know, kind of go around the bush a lot of times because they want to do so many different other things, but it doesn't still add up to what the purpose is. Right. And then when they kind of get into that purpose of it, they're like, oh, you know, the light bulb goes off. You're like, oh, is this easy? You know, so, you know, I just love your thought process, your nature, your spirit, and everything, because with that, you understanding this now at your age, you know, just think what you're going to be in the next 5 years, and not even that, the next 2 years, and the next 5 years, and so forth. So, you guys, I think we're going to be seeing her like in every magazine. She's going to be on commercials. Next thing you know, she could be on Netflix dropping some films, just every and anything, because you have the right direction that you're going on and the right steps that you're setting forth for yourself. And yeah, I mean, I don't like to say the sky's the limit, but because that is a limit. I'm just like, yo, you just go out and do everything that's the universe and beyond. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Buzz Lightyear, infinity and beyond, just go and do it. So I really love it all. So do you have any particular projects or specials or anything going on right now that you want to announce to the people?
Yes, I have two things I would like to announce. Devyne Business Consulting for the month of July is holding a deal where you can buy one service and get the other piece of that service free. So for example, if you say I want my Facebook page to be managed, we will allow you to get your Instagram managed for free. So what you would have to do to get more information about that service is go to devynebusiness.com and book a free business analysis and put in the notes something in relation to BOGO. If you put BOGO, I'm gonna know what you're talking about and I'll be able to get you that. So be sure to do that. And then as for people who waiting on music, I know people have been waiting on my music for God knows how long. But I'm dropping my EP very, very soon. Now that me and Bentley have gotten on the same page about what's happening and where I'm about to go and how things are about to move, that EP is coming out very, very soon. And I'm in the studio all day. So y'all better go on my pages. If y'all want to hear snippets, go on my Instagrams and TikToks and Facebooks and you will see it. I promise.
So everybody here's all the Facebook and the Instagram and the music site for you to, just catch up with Devyne and really see what she has going. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it, you all. So definitely follow her and then visit her music site, for the snippets and everything. Because I really believe that once you tap into her world right now, that's the thing. Tap in now. So in that way, you're already a part of it when she goes higher in what she's doing. So let me ask this question before we go, and then I'll, ask you for some tips and everything to give out to other young CEOs. So do you produce your own beats or as well as writing?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on the project. It's a case by case scenario. A lot of my songs I have produced by myself. But I do have a personal producer that I've been working with since the beginning of my journey, and his name is Jay. That's my boy. I love that man. Like that's the homie. I worked with other producers, really only like 2 other producers. Like I'm very, very picky about who I work with. And Gaze, Katana, and Phallic, my mains. I love those 2. Their beats are just like, they captivate my soul. Literally, all of my projects, when I'm going to look for beats, I go to these 3 people only. Like, I don't go to anybody else. And then I have myself, if I say, hey, I want to make some of my own, I'll make some of my own. As far as writing, I do write all of my own music.
All right. Yeah, because I know like last month, have you heard of Big Steppa Lani? She's out of New York. Maybe definitely to connect with her too.
I've heard that name before. That sounds familiar. I may know. Yeah.
Yeah, we had her on our show last month, and 13-year-old, doing just like you, doing everything, fashion, music, acting, all of it. And, she's a hip hop artist and recording artist as well. So she's doing some big things. And so definitely when you get to New York, that's somebody to like that young CEO, just take over, just do that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's amazing to hear. Shout out to this man. That's crazy.
13 doing it up. So exciting. So what tips would you give out to other, teenpreneurs, young CEOs, kids, anybody who's out there wanting to do a business? How do they, get started?
I will say this. First and foremost, you gotta be willing to sacrifice. You have to, especially when you're in school. Because one thing, I graduated high school early, and it was I had to sacrifice music and business for a short amount of time because, you know, when you're trying to put 4 years into 3, your workload kind of crazy. So you got to be willing to sacrifice sometimes. And one of my favorite quotes that I came up with on my own is a hustler is somebody who's going to do what they don't want to do sometimes to get where they got to go. And that's just a life thing. Sometimes you got to do things that are a little bit uncomfortable, that you just like, man, I don't really feel like doing this, or this is just too much. You got to push through. Remember your end game. Remember the end game. And another quote that I got from my previous mentor, his name is Riyad Jones. And he just, I remember he said, fall in love with the game, not the scoreboard. And that stuck with me. I'm like, okay, fall in love with the process of learning entrepreneurship. That's the biggest thing I can say, is because people walk into this, even grown men and women walk into this and they think, oh, I'm just going to make like $1,000 within a day as soon as no, it's a process and it's a lot.
Love it. Yes.
Like anybody that's been in this for a minute could tell you, like, this is not easy. And sometimes you will get discouraged. Like, don't be afraid to get discouraged. Don't be afraid to feel the feelings. It's not a linear, it's not this. It's very this. So, if you know you want to do it, stick with it. If you know this is something that not like, let's money not even involved. Let's forget about money. If you know this is something that is your passion, if you have a passion to help others, uplift others, bring out a message into the world, do it. That's your luxury. Is whatever makes you happy. Don't do nothing for the approval of nobody else. I know that's hard to really take in, but don't. I promise you're going to regret it later. You're going to hate yourself for it. So whatever makes you happy, do it. If entrepreneurship is it, do it. If music, fashion, whatever it is, I don't care. As long as it makes you happy, I'm happy for you. Genuinely. Yes. The world will thank you for doing what makes you happy. So understand that, and understand that, again, sacrifice is a huge thing that you have to understand when you walk into this. Because a lot of people tell me, like, oh, I wish I was doing this, and like, I get why they say it, but also I've been through a lot of my life, a lot of stuff, good and bad. And I deal with. I also want to make this clear too, because I know I haven't, and this is very fresh to me. I deal with ADHD and anxiety. I'm gonna be very transparent. So understand that this isn't just like a luxury thing for me. I deal with stuff too. I'm a human too. So be sure to treat yourself like a human being and not a robot, because you're not a robot. You have feelings, you have thoughts, you have limits, you have boundaries, you have standards. Stick to them. Stick to them. Personal sense and business sense. So yeah, that's all I got to say on that. I just wanted I wanted to put that out there because I know people have the tendency, oh, she got it all, he has it all. No, don't.
Exactly.
Don't. Look at that doing your head now. So
yes,
please. But yeah, I'm a human. I want people to treat themselves as human and treat others like human beings. So we have a pure understanding of what's happening, and just be kind to yourself. That's the greatest thing you could do, and I'm still on that.
Yeah. Self-care is everything, personally, and as well, even the more for an entrepreneur. And it's one of the things, I know we're going to close out, I love everything you just said, and then just being transparent with that, because that's something that people don't talk about. They don't talk about the ugliness of entrepreneurship. And that's the realest part of it. You know, the glam, the posts, you know, how many people can post, oh, you know, I hit, 6 figures this month, or I hit 5, whatever it is, or I had a $30,000 week, whatever, I know I'm exaggerating, but some people might have that kind of money. But how did it get there? How many times did you have to sit there and encourage your own self, to keep going when you didn't have, people just said no and rejected you 5 times before you hit that one.
Right.
Or that 2 that got you to the level of financially that you're at. So there's so much ugliness in it, and it's the real part. And mental health and entrepreneurship is something that really needs to be talked about, because a lot of times people just don't want to deal with it. That well-being is everything,
Right.
because you're being everything, not only for yourself and the legacy that you're building, but you're being everything to those that you're working with as well. So you have to get yourself guarded. Like you said, have those boundaries, have those standards, make sure that you know that you are a human first. I love it, not a robot. So yeah, so thank you so much for all the gems and the knowledge you've been dropping. Like, oh my gosh, at 17, like, yo, what are you gonna be like next year or the next few months? Like, you have so much wisdom. And I love that. I love that. So I'll be looking forward. I'm gonna be watching, I'm following you. I'm watching you. I'm gonna be like, okay, when she hit this next level, we're gonna have to bring her back.
I'm excited. I'm excited for everything that's coming. I'm excited for this musical journey, for this entrepreneurial journey, and I'm grateful for all the connections that I make when whatever field it is. I'm grateful for everything that's happening, because everything happens for a reason. I firmly believe that. So through the trials and tribulations, and they're gonna keep coming. I've made that clear in my head. But I know that as long as I try to do what I can to overcome it logically, I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna be good. Like,
yes, you are.
It's gonna work itself out. That's what keeps me at peace. And that's another thing, real quick too, is that peace is extremely important. If you are not at peace, nothing else can function. So make sure that before you hop into anything that could bring any sort of stress, turmoil, make sure you're good here first. Because if you're not good here, nothing functions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. I love it, Devyne. Thank you so much for everything you have blessed the people today. And I'm just looking forward to, let me bring this back up, looking forward to more. So you guys, definitely you want to follow. If you love everything that you heard today, definitely connect with Devyne. Follow her. Her information is right here. I'll make sure the business website be in the description so people can go up for the buy one, get one free special for you. And jump in on that, you guys. So it's 2nd of July. So we only have a few more days. Things go by really fast in these months these days. So you want to get in. And if you hear it here in enough time, you got an opportunity to get in with that special. So thank you, Devyne, so much for being here with us. And I just loved every minute with you today. And enjoy the rest of your day, and just much blessings to everything that you have going on and that will happen in the near future. So good luck to it all.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. You have a good rest of your day too.
All right. Thank you. All right, you guys. So look, I told you we're bringing the best of the best of the best. And in my world, everybody's the best. When you're doing what you're doing and you're putting forth the effort, when you're putting forth the right mindset towards it in any venture that you're working on, like I said, I don't like to say the sky's the limit, because the sky is a limit. But if you just go to the universe and beyond in what you do, there is no stopping you and what you have, especially when you believe in yourself and you have a good support system. So I just love that interview today, you guys. So if you want to be on this show and want to be interviewed, here is the information right here. If you're a creative, if you are a business owner, in my world, a creative is a business owner. It doesn't matter whether you're a music artist, author, speaker, whatever it is. If you are out there with a venture and you're transactional with it, it's a business, you guys. So, and you have a space right here on the According to Sacha podcast. And so email us according to Sacha@gmail.com. That is according the number 2, Sacha, Sacha @gmail.com. And we'll get you scheduled. And then also, if you're interested in being a show sponsor, we have details for that too. And then we'll love to have you up here. And, you can just share with the people, what you're doing in your life and your business and so much more. And with that, you guys, I don't have any more things to really announce or to say. If you're following me, I put everything up there and wherever I'm going to be at speaking or whatever we're doing. But, stay tuned for the next young CEO that we'll have in next month. And like I said, these kids are on fire. These teens are on fire. And, they're our next wave of entrepreneurs and business owners. So thank you so much for being here with us. Remember to always like, follow, and share all of our platforms. I'm not going to go over it. You already know. And I thank you for all of your support. And remember to command your day in everything you do and be great. Bye, you guys.